Hey, I'm Michael, and welcome to one of my stories, a tale that cut deeper than I ever expected. Growing up in Chicago, I had a best friend, Tommy, who was more than a friend. He was family, the kind of guy you'd trust with your life. We shared dreams, fights, and secrets, but when his gambling debts spiraled out of control, they dragged us both into a dark, dangerous place. This is the story of how far I went to pull him back from the edge, what it cost me, and a strange discovery that still keeps me up at night. Tommy and I grew up on the same gritty block in Chicago where you learn to keep your eyes open and your guard up. We were inseparable, shooting hoops until the streetlights came on, sneaking into arcades with pocket change, dreaming of bigger things. I wanted to code apps, maybe work in tech. Tommy wanted to be a musician, playing gigs in front of thousands. Even as kids, he had this spark, this love for the thrill, betting quarters on pinball, daring me to race him across the city. That fire in him drew me in, but looking back, I see it was also the start of his downfall. It was 2 a.m., the kind of hour where nothing good calls. My phone buzzed, and Tommy's name lit up the screen. His voice was raw, trembling, not the confident Tommy I knew. "Mike, I'm in deep trouble," he said. He'd been gambling underground. Poker, sports baits, anything with a rush. He owed $10,000 to people who didn't mess around. "They're coming for me, man," he whispered, his words breaking. "I need you." I sat there, gripping the phone, my stomach twisting. This wasn't just a favor, this was life or death. I found Tommy in a dive bar on the south side, a place that reeked of stale beer and bad choices. He looked like a ghost of himself, dark circles under his eyes, clothes rumpled, hands shaking as he gripped his drink. He spilled it all. High stakes. Poker games in smoky basements, loans from guys with no patience. "I thought I could win it back, Mike," he said, his voice cracking like glass. "I thought I could fix it." I wanted to shake him, yell at him for being so reckless, but all I saw was the kid who'd shared his lunch with me when I had nothing. He was begging for help, and I couldn't turn away. We barely made it out of the bar when two guys stepped out of the shadows, blocking our way like wolves circling prey. The one with a scar across his cheek leaned in, his breath sour, and said, "Tommy, you got 7 days to pay up, or you're done, and your friend here won't help you then." The other guy didn't speak, just spun his knife, letting it catch the streetlight. My heart was hammering, but I stepped in front of Tommy, forcing my voice steady. "We'll get the money," I said. They laughed cold and sharp and disappeared into the dark, but their threat hung in the air like smoke. Back in my apartment, the weight of it all hit me. Tommy was my brother, but this was his mess, a hole he dug with every bad bet. My bank account showed $2,000, barely enough for rent, let alone saving him. Part of me wanted to walk away, let him face the consequences of his choices. I kept seeing that photo of us as kids, promising we'd always have each other's backs. How do you turn your back on that? I paced for hours, rain drumming on the window, wrestling with the question. Save him, or save myself. By dawn, I knew I couldn't abandon him, no matter the cost. I had one thing worth anything, my Mustang. I'd spent years fixing it up. Every dent and scratch a memory, late night drives, road trips with Tommy blasting music. It was my freedom, my pride, but Tommy was running out of time, and $2,000 wasn't enough. I sold the car for $7,000, less than it deserved, but enough to give him a shot. I handed him the cash, my voice hard. "Pay them, Tommy, no more games? You owe me that much." He nodded, but his eyes didn't meet mine, and that scared me more than the guys with knives. I trusted Tommy to do the right thing, to take the money and settle his debt. Instead, I found him in another basement, the air thick with smoke and desperation, betting my $7,000 like it was pocket change. His eyes were wild, almost manic, as he pushed chips across the table. "I can double it, Mike," he said when I confronted him, his voice pleading but hollow. I was furious. My car, my sacrifice, gone in a stupid gamble. I dragged him out, my voice low and sharp. "This ends now, Tommy, or we're done for good." I'd never felt so betrayed. Tommy's gamble didn't just fail, it lit a fuse. The guys he owed sent their muscle after us, and we ran like our lives depended on it, because they did. Alleys blurred past trash cans, rusted fences, the stench of damp concrete. Headlights cut through the dark, a car engine roaring closer. Their shouts echoed, promising pain if they caught us. My lungs burned, my legs screamed, but I kept pushing Tommy forward, yelling, "Move or we're dead." We were out of options, out of time, and the city felt like a trap closing around us. The alley ended in a brick wall, no way out. The guy with the scar moved fast, his knife flashing as he went for Tommy. The blade caught his left shoulder, and Tommy's scream tore through the night, blood soaking his jacket. I didn't think. I tackled the guy, slamming him into the wall, my adrenaline spiking. The other one hesitated, and we took our chance, stumbling away. Tommy was staggering, his face pale, but we kept moving. I could feel his blood on my hands, and it hit me. This wasn't just his fight anymore, it was ours. We ducked into an old warehouse, its walls rusted and cold, the only sound our ragged breathing. Tommy was fading fast, blood seeping through his jacket. I pulled out my knife, hands shaking, and cut strips from my shirt to wrap his shoulder tight. He winced with every move, muttering, "I'm sorry, Mike, I messed up bad." I didn't answer. I was too focused on stopping the bleeding, keeping him alive. But inside, I was torn, angry at his choices, terrified of losing him. He was still my brother, and I couldn't let go. Not yet. The next day, I faced the guys in an empty parking lot, the kind of place where deals go bad. I handed over my last $2,000, every cent I had left, and promised the rest would come. The scarred guy counted the cash, his smirk cold as ice. "You're lucky we like you," he said, but his eyes said they'd be back. I glanced at Tommy, leaning against a wall, pale and guilty. I turned to him, my voice hard. "You're getting help, Tommy, or I'm out." He nodded, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. I'd bought us time, but the fight wasn't over. A few days later, I was helping Tommy pack up when I found something in his jacket, a poker chip, heavier than it should be, carved with a jagged spiral symbol. It was the same one I'd seen years ago, etched into a tree when I was lost in the woods. My stomach dropped. I held it up and asked, "Tommy, where'd this come from?" He mumbled, "Just a game," but his eyes darted away, like he was hiding something bigger. What was he really tangled up in, and why did that symbol keep haunting me? That whole mess pushed our friendship to the breaking point, but it didn't snap. Tommy started going to meetings for his gambling addiction, taking it one day at a time. I learned that loyalty isn't just standing by someone, it's holding them accountable, pushing them to rise above their mistakes. I lost my car, my savings, and a piece of my trust, but I gained something deeper, the knowledge that I could fight for someone I love, even when it hurts, and come out stronger on the other side. That spiral chip still bothers me, but Tommy's fighting his demons, and I'm proud of him. I'm Michael, and I've got more stories, raw, real, and inspiring. Subscribe and hit the bell to catch the next one. Tell me in the comments, would You risk everything for a friend. And have you ever faced a choice that pushed you to the edge? See you in the next story.